on to a new lesson today. We're going to, if you would take a look up here, I have two columns. I have a yes column and I have a no column. And so each column has 3 sentences. They're actually relatively similar. Like 1 and 1 are very similar, 2 and 2 are similar, and 3 and 3 are similar, but they're different. The yes column has a specific attribute, a specific characteristic that makes it the yes column, and the no column does not share the same thing. So I want you to take a few minutes, about 3 to 5 minutes in your small groups. I want you to look at both the yes column and the no column and try to think of maybe what rule is being applied to the yes column. Like, what do you notice? What makes it the yes column? Why is this sentence not over here? Why are these over here? Are there any questions over the directions?
No?
Nope. So go ahead and take a couple minutes, think about the rule.
So the tree range just fingers to the sky, leaves crane to touch the sun, and then the tree branches extend to the sky. So what's the difference between those two?
So what do you notice? So we have the word the. That is definitely a commonality. So I don't think there's much hyperbole there, but that was a nice try.
Yeah, it is more
All of those are applicable to verbs.
That's true. There, all of those are
That's
that doesn't
The
work for
verbs
no column.
that are being applied to the objects in the yes column are like human-like attributes. So because trees don't really have fingers, and so they can't reach in this time. And then
Like saying the flowers grew in the field, but then like if you say the flowers grew,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, there's a wind, and there's like an exclamation point.
So what's
So
the
they
difference
do things
between
that they
like
usually
brew and
can't.
dance?
Yeah,
Well,
and they're objects, so they can't do that.
No, I don't think they can.
no, flowers can't dance.
Is no because they're all simple sentences?
So let's go ahead and bring it back together.
Right,
I've been
you're
hearing some very interesting things that y'all were talking about, and I would love for you to share with the rest of class. So in your small groups, what were some things that you noticed about the yes column? A couple of things.
I noticed that in the yes column, the verbs that are being used are talking about human characteristics.
Okay, so the verb itself, or human characteristics. Okay, so that's interesting there. So you would say that all these objects are non-human. They're just, objects, but the verbs or the way they're described are more human-like or different, correct? Yeah. Jefferson, I heard you talk about it a little bit earlier in your small group. You said something about they do what? The objects are what?
Oh, the objects are doing things that they usually can't do.
Okay, so the objects are doing things they usually can't do. I heard Joanne say earlier, flowers, can they actually dance?
No, they cannot dance.
No, they can't. So that being said, Naseem, do you want to go ahead and write down the description that we all kind of shared earlier? So we said they were non-human objects. And so they do human-like things. Is that the only thing we want to say about it? Or do we want to extend the description a little more? Is it simply non-human objects doing human-like things?
They have human-like characteristics.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and add that as well, Lizette? They have human-like characteristics, or they're described with human-like characteristics? Awesome, thank you. So would you say, as a class, do y'all feel comfortable with this description for the rule of the yes column? Yeah?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and take the rule that we have and look at a couple other examples that are not under the yes, no column and see what y'all think. So, example 1. Okay. She did not realize that opportunity was knocking at her door. Can anyone else, Mitchell, since you're talking to Mike, what do you find is the object and what is the...
The opportunity was the object.
Okay, and what is it doing?
It is knocking.
It's knocking. Opportunity is something that knocks at a door, so that really isn't something, that is definitely a human-like attribute. Okay? Miss Moon danced at her wedding laughing with her friends. Is this rule applicable to this sentence?
Yes.
No.
Wrong.
No. Why?
Because
Because
this one
this
is
is human.
Because I am a human being and I can dance at my own wedding, laughing with my friends. So I am not an object. Thank you very much, Rose. I saw your comment. Okay. And finally, time flew before we knew it. It was time to go home. Is this applicable to this sentence?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Time cannot fly.
Because time does not fly. It ticks by, I guess, but time does not fly. So yes, you have the object being giving the human attributes. So this is what's known as personification. So go ahead and write that down in your notes right now.
On the yes column, the 3 sentences have objects that are not human-like, but they have like human-like characteristics, like they're doing things that we could do ourselves.
Okay. Human-like things. So in the case of this one, the tree reached its fingers to the sky, leaves craning to touch the sun. What is our object and what is the human-like attribute? Anybody else? Nick?
The object is the tree.
Okay.
And the human-like thing that it's doing is reaching its fingers.
Yes, because trees don't have fingers. They typically have branches, leaves. So fingers is a very human-like attribute. Awesome. So let's get the second one just to double check. The sun sat on the horizon and looked out to the world. Anybody else? What's the object and what is the human-like attribute? Yes, Maya?
The object is the sun, and the human-like thing is it's looking and it's sitting.
Yeah, it's sitting and it's looking out to the world. The sun doesn't typically do that to our knowledge. So yes, you have the object and we have our human-like attributes. So what you're going to do in your small groups before you leave class today is I'm going to ask you to write one sentence using personification, using the rules that you developed. You're going to make one example, you're going to turn it into end of class, and you're going to personify not just anything. I'm going to give you an object. You're going to write a description of the iPhone or a phone in general, okay? So the iPhone, so go ahead and personify that and then turn it in, and then you'll be done with class.